Welcome back, fans, to Guido TV. Now, the number one show in West Dundalk. Woo! Thanks, fans. Number one. This week, we're going to talk about the legend, the slow death of Rob Zombie. This week, we got the news that Three from Hell, the sequel to House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects, is going to pimp out in October, on Halloween, October 31st, 2019. I want to talk about Rob for a second because I'm a little disgruntled about all of it. Quick filmology, and I'm not a Rob Zombie hater, okay? The man was an amazing artist. He's an amazing musician. He's a friend of the horror community. He lives the horror life. The guy's got a tattoo of the creature from the Black Lagoon. I love Rob, but I got some issues with some stuff. We're going to start off with his first classic, about 16 years ago, House of a Thousand Corpses. Now, modern horror, Wes Craven brought it back in 96 with Scream. There was 5 or 6 years of bubblegum horror. We didn't get anything brutal that was financially viable. Lionsgate took a chance. They made it for 5. They made like 18. I love House of a Thousand Corpses. It's brutal. The imagery, of course, from Rob Zombie is tremendous. Little group of people get lost in Texas Chainsaw style, run into a crazy family. It's really fun. It's funny. It's amazing. Like I said, solid 9 on the Guido scale. 2 years later, the fan favorite, not my favorite, but Devil's Rejects. And this is where the direct sequel, it's got a cult following. He did it 2 years after that. To me, it's a bit mean-spirited, but a tremendous movie for everybody. Everybody loves it. Once again, the imagery's great. To me, it's just a little too brutal. It's just not my cup of tea, but everybody loved it. If you want to see a film like Devil's Rejects, which is much better, the new Leatherface 2017 with Stephen Dorff is an unbelievable film. The origins of Leatherface. There's been so many Texas Chainsaw remakes. MTV did some. I think even the WB did some where Cedric the Entertainer is Leatherface, but I didn't get into that one. But Leatherface 2017. If you like Devil's Rejects, I always call Devil's Rejects the poor man's Leatherface. So, this is what the sequel's going to be about, the Firefly family. We're going to get back into that. But we're talking about Rob right now. Then he did a real fun animated film, Haunted World of El Beasto, Super El Beasto. A lot of fun, really funny. Even the legend Paul Giamatti's in it. Rosario Dawson. If you love horror, it's just a cool little horror animated movie. A lot of fun. Then we're going to get into what I call the slow fall of Rob Zombie. Okay? So after Devil's Rejects, the cult following, they wanted to remake Halloween, which was cool. So we got the new Halloween movie about 10 years ago, 2008. I really enjoyed it. To Rob's credit, he wanted to make 2 films. Michael Myers as a young kid evolving into the monster, and then, basically a rehash of the first one. What's pissing me off about Rob is, the film did very well. I think it was made for 15, did 80 million. But he came out, John Carpenter was known and seen in this movie before it came out to give him his blessing. He said, look, we remake Hamlet, Macbeth, Frankenstein, Dracula. Make it your own. I don't care. I'm not involved in it. Good luck to you. We're going to get back to that because he went after John Carpenter. But it's a good film. It's got some brutal killings. It's Rob Zombie style, quick jump cuts. We start to see his flaws as a director, though. It's like 2 films in one, but I'm still going to give it to him here. This is where I start to get pissed off at Rob. Halloween 2. He comes out the next year. Harvey Weinstein tells him, and he's got his own shit going on right now, that, it made this. We got to get an immediate sequel. I'm going to give you this check. We're going to make this and do this. And you know what? Rob Zombie accepted it. Did Harvey Weinstein meet you in a massage parlor? Did you? I'm on the case. I don't know, man. You made the film. It's not a bad film. It's got some slick stuff in it. But this is where he starts with his wife, Sherry Moon. Apparently, she's a great woman. She was hot in her day. I'll give her that. But she's not the best actress. He puts her in everything, man. I've seen an army of wet paper bulls run out of a wet paper bag. I don't know. He screwed up the story at the end, man. It was all about her and some demon horse. Looked like Shadowfax from Lord of the Rings, but they couldn't afford a real horse, so they were in Western Maryland. And they got I don't know what the hell went on. But here's what happened here. First of all, he starts blaming Harvey Weinstein, but you took the check. Then he says, "Oh, John Carpenter never supported me," and he was an asshole about it, you know. Then we come back, how Rob acts like a little bitch and says, "Oh, I didn't really say it." There's like 300 quotes and videos of him bashing John Carpenter. John Carpenter's like, "Hey, this is your thing, man." So John Carpenter, legend. They Live, The Thing, The Fog. The guy's one of the most incredible filmmakers of our time, and you're going at him, you know. So that's when I said Rob just likes to blame everybody. He's like a little, I didn't, you know. Then the real horror story. So, independent film company says, do whatever you want. We're going to give you a blank check. Lords of Salem. Jesus Christ. I saw Lords of Salem in the theater. Rob, you owe me $8.50. Wait, I got popcorn too at that movie. You owe me $17.85, Rob. Okay. And I bought the first half hour. It was in Salem. It was a witch movie. It was built up. It was Rob Zombie. And, we got into the story, and then it was 45 minutes at the end. It was UCLA freshman year film school shit. Nobody has any idea what you did. The editing was atrocious. It's bad. It's a bad film. Lords of Salem, a 5. It's really bad, man. It's really awful. So I didn't even buy 31 because after Lords of Salem, this descent's been terrible. Saw 31 on the Fire Stick. It's just in case you check it out, it's a quick like Death Park movie. You couldn't even care less about the characters. Malcolm McDowell looks like fucking Amadeus, and it's atrocious. So now we're gonna see what happens with 3 from Hell. It's gonna make money. It's Rob Zombie and it's Halloween. People are gonna come out for this. I hope he does well. I'd love to see him. There was the movie about the Broad Street Bullies, the Philadelphia Flyers, 1970s, the hard guys. He was going to make the film. But at the end of the day, we need to see if he's actually going to be a great filmmaker or just a couple one-hit wonders. I say one-hit wonder. I think he's lost the plot. And in the Flyers, he can't put his dipshit wife in goal to play for the Flyers. So Guido, checking in with the Rob Zombie. Happy to hear the news. We're going to get back at you soon with some new stuff coming out next week. Thanks for tuning in.